Imagine a spiritual pathway that addresses your physical health, emotional frequency, mental clarity, and spiritual well-being, all in perfect harmony. This isn't just an ideal. It's the comprehensive nature of the Goddess Emergence show with Dr. Brie Gibbs, a spiritual leader, healer, and trance medium who, alongside of Goddess Bell, the creator, and other masters, will share information never before released on the planet to help guide and evolve humanity, and along the way, heal the 4 dimensions of body, emotions, mind, and spirituality. This show is about true spirituality, offering a new earth narrative and effective path to well-being as it accelerates the journey of our spiritual evolution to keep pace in this rapidly changing world. Get ready to emerge the goddess within each of us, both the feminine and the masculine. If you have any questions about yourself that you have no answers to, this is the show for you. Let's emerge together and emerge better. Now here is your host, Dr. Brie Gibbs.
I am Dr. Brie Gibbs, and my co-host is Dr. Pat from the Dr. Pat Show. Hi, Dr. Pat. How are you?
I'm really pretty good. I'm excited about today's show. I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about, Dr. Brie. It's so important. This topic couldn't be more apropos than it is today.
So true. So we're going to talk about energy today. I'm excited about that. The one thing I like is what Einstein has to say, that energy is everything, and that's all there is to it. And you think about that, what is energy? How do we use it every day? And how does it affect others also? What do you think about that?
Well, I think what we're talking about is, what did Einstein mean by everything is energy and that's all there is to it? Because that was his quote. That's the full quote. Of course, when people use that phrase, everything is energy, people say like, okay, who said it? Well, Einstein did say it. Everything is energy and that's all there is to it. But he had a reason for saying it, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, walk us through why he said that. Because he not only talked about it from the scientific, but he also talked about it from the spiritual, universal, so to speak.
Correct. So if we take it for the earth plane, let's just say, and everything is energy, whatever we do, our physical bodies to cooking and cleaning. I'll just use that for an example. I had to add that in there. Sorry about that. But anyway, so here's the thing, is it's also available from the cosmos, and that many people don't realize that. And so the energy that we use every day is a part of that. And so you can say cosmos, the other side, the universe, it's all combined into one. And when we look at that and you see that and you go, wait a minute, how can I let this affect myself positively every day? You get what I mean on that one?
But what is the outcome of that? Because if everything is energy, right, and we know that, and we study it, and we believe it, there's so many messages in there. There's so much we have to talk about beyond that. Right. And, I think Einstein talked about energy goes beyond the physical matter. And I think that's what we're talking about today. Right. A lot of his writings were thoughtfully, what's the word I want to use? Thoughtfully presented to make sure that he's not just talking about scientific writing, but he's talking about everything else, right?
Well, right. And the one thing that said that the fundamental building block of the universe suggests that all matter includes ourselves and can be understood in different forms and varied ways of energy. So when you think about that, how does it variate? And that's my big thing is, if we go from one place to another, I don't care if you make one step, we're using energy that he has said it's everything. And so that's where I kind of look at it. I mean, it's essentially applied to the masses and energy of inchargeable and describable, and even in famous things that we use every day, conductors, conduits. And I don't mean a conduit, water's a conduit. So I'm not talking on the psyche side of it. I'm talking on the physical side and the emotional side of everything in this world that we use every day, whether it be our cars, whether it be things with our computers. It's all energy no matter what.
One of the things to talk about is how does that translate to what we're talking about today? Because the title of the show is Goddess Emergence Energy Beyond the 21st Century. That's the episode that we're doing today. And so we're talking about what does that mean? What is the goddess in this modern world all about? How do we understand it? What is that energy all about? And hence the Einstein quote to try to explain it. So from where you sit, what is it that enables us to say that the goddess emergence energy goes beyond the 21st century, and it's important for us to get it. It's
Yes.
time.
All right. Let's talk about that. So I'll start with the entwinement with God's Belmai. That's where I need to start. It took a vast amount of energy to bring her in, and it was not easy. I'm not going to go through the details. I've already done that, but the energy that her and I used together is double the amount I ever had before. So as a goddess, we have to look at the planet. We have to look at what's happening every day in our lives. And when we look at that, we have to make decisions, and they're hard decisions sometimes that we do not want to have to make. So let's just say you have somebody leaving your life, and it's somebody that's necessary that leaves your life, right? You have to use your own energy inside of you to decide whether or not this is good for you or it's bad for you. And or we're going to do planetary work and help the planet with the hurricanes or monsoons, whatever happens. We have to use that energy inside of us also. Now, it's not just a simple energy switch. I will tell you that now, excuse me. The energy that we have to use is so deep inside of us that we actually have to bring that out of us. So it comes outside the body and it comes out into the world. So we're very careful on how that is used. And in this modern day, we can't just come out and wave our hands around and do this. We have to be able to mentally think about it and bring it down from the cellular consciousness through the filters, cellular consciousness, bring it down and out through our mouths or our hands, whatever we do. When there's people that carry these abilities, they need to know where that actually comes from. I can't do anything without the creator's permission.
Let's do this. I want to take a short break because when we come back, I want to talk about this idea, this feminine energy. What is it? But we need to put the word divine in front of it. Divine
Correct.
feminine energy. Well, let's take a short break, everybody. When we come back, we're going to talk you through why did Einstein actually mean more than just his scientific research? What was he trying to tell us? And how does the goddess emergence help us understand our ability to bring it forward? Let's take a short break, everybody. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is the Goddess Emergence Show with Dr. Brie Gibbs. I'm Dr. Pat. I get to join her on this journey of synthesis in science, spirituality, and humanity. Today we're talking about energy, and this is a really important day to talk about it, but we're talking about Goddess Emergence energy beyond the 21st century. And so, what are some of the things we're going to explore? What is the goddess in this modern world all about? What is that? How did we get a sense that the goddess was trying to emerge? Okay, all you need to do is sort of reference our pop culture just for a hot second and just take a snapshot and look in time at the different female figures that are showing up in movies. Everything from Wonder Woman to the Eternals to Wednesday of the Addams Family. You're seeing iconic figures being brought to the world that are powerful, powerful energies in what they do. But they do have some things in common, and that's what we're going to talk about. Dr. Bree, for people to find out more about you, to work with you, they can just go to Dr. Brie, Brie Gibbs.com. And there's plenty of information there. Um, but let's jump to the conversation about divine feminine energy, because everything is energy. And yet we have to understand that we are the containers of it. And one aspect of the container is called divine feminine energy. So tell us what that is.
Define the the divine female energy is all about using every part of us that is all female. It is not the masculine. And as we use this, we have to have the compassion, understanding. And as a goddess, we are goddess energy, and love is nurturing. It is not a physical love. It's a spiritual love. And so when people will say, I love you, they're not understanding the spiritual part of it. And that's one thing I really want to get out. That's very important to me. Um, of course, I say I love you to my husband, or I love you, Dr. Pat. Yeah, that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's like when you're fully embraced in your God's energy, nothing can get through that. And when we use that, there's a different form we take. It's not a form of how I look, it's a form inside. And we bring that out and use that. Um, for the modern world, I can't say, I just show up and be here. Of course you can, but we can't show, if incarnated goddesses cannot show their true form of what they looked like thousands of years ago. So as we come walk into the body or reincarnate, we come with those memories and all the things we need to have to be able to work on this planet and live on the planet. It is not easy for any of us. And so we have to use all the energy that is out there for us to work, from Einstein to what creator's given us, our guides, our angels, everything that has to be with us, around us constantly.
So, what are some of the qualities or the key points of divine energy?
The main one is love, and stay in love, no matter what. I know that sounds really harsh, but we have to. I've been told, you don't talk like goddesses don't talk like that. So I get corrected. That is one of the things. The energy that we use, the other key point is knowing when to stop, when it's enough, of being able to help someone. Because nurturing can only go so far. That's still using energy there. I may not be giving you exactly what you want to hear and what people want to hear, but that's just the truth of it, the matter of it. So when I look at, let's just say, I look at, I'll just say you, Pat. I'm looking at you right now, Dr. Pat, and I see the energy around you and how you're holding yourself. That's important that they see that, or you feel that and you know that about you. And so that your energy is solid. And that's what we all have to do. Because if you're not in your solid energy, you're not going to help nobody or yourself. And so the divine feminine energy actually comes from the six sisters. And they are all embraced and bringing this energy through. And it's a purity. It's all pure.
So, some people describe divine image and feminine energy as a powerful flowing force associated with traditional feminine qualities like intuition, empathy, nurturing, creativity, and connection to nature. Other people point out to the fact that one, it's non gender specific and it's associated with female characteristics, but it's not limited to women. And that's what's so important about that, to really understand that. Those are the qualities. So the qualities that we're talking about that come forward, Again, empathy, intuition, creativity, receptivity, nurturing, connection to the natural world is also part of the divine feminine. But the most important part of this that is said is there's this balance sheet that goes on, this balance between divine feminine and masculine energy. And the divine feminine is often understood to complement divine masculine energy, right? So we have this dynamic that goes on, which is non-gender,
Right?
meaning you could be divine feminine man,
Correct.
right? And you could be divine masculine woman. And so when we go through this, we're not talking about a person, we're talking about the energy of how we show up in the world, right?
Right.
So how is that used every day?
Every day by love. That's the one thing I have to say. I know that gets crazy that people want to keep hearing me say love, but that is the main energy of the goddesses. And whether you're divine feminine, divine masculine, it's the love that you carry inside of you. And when you use that every day, your whole world changes. You look at things different. You feel different. And if you see something that you know that needs to be changed, we change it. And it's using energy again, no matter what. So let's say you have a $5 bill. That is energy. Money is nothing but energy. And you help somebody or whatever. I'll use that for an example. It's not quite what I want to say, but right now, a lot of things are happening and on the planet. And right now I can feel like, because of my energy, I can feel all the shifting happen right now. And there's nothing I can do to change that right now. Not till I get centered and in myself and get into full form where I can work on the planet. And divine masculine, same thing. Centered, get informed, and work on the planet or whatever journey you are on. So the one thing that I would say is, with me, I'm a little different. I hardly have any male masculine energy in me. It's like this much. So it's harder for me to understand for others in a lot of ways. But the one thing that I want you to know, that this show is about the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It's not just about one.
So let's get back to our topic where we say today that this title, this is about the goddess emergence energy beyond the 21st century. Obviously, there is a time now for this energy to come forward. What is the impact that that is expecting to have?
There is so much chaos on the planet right now, and we are in the great shift of consciousness right now, in which we're switching over to, I'm going to say it, we're switching over to a new world. And in the meantime, we have to clean things up. And when we clean things up, it's not pretty. It's something that we have to do. And as we switch and get ready to go ahead and bring this new energy in, there's got to be a little chaos before it can get better. And so in the meantime, all the goddesses are here, whether divine masculine, divine feminine, are here to help with the great shift so we can switch over to the new planet. And the other thing I would say is, a lot of us have been called forward by the Creator to come here and do this job, whether you're female or male. It does not matter. You have a guest that you have on your show, Dr. Pat, that I absolutely love, and he brings people through. And, that's his job. Is there a divine feminine in him? Is there a divine masculine in him? Or is he just all masculine? Because it can happen. And so he may have this much divine feminine in him, but his divine masculine can be like this, and his energy is very powerful. So, that is just how we use our energies every day. So with me, with only having this much divine masculine, I have to use all feminine energy because that's who I am. And when we do that, like right now, there's a problem going on right now. Okay, I'm not into politics, Dr. Pat. You know that. So I'm just going to bring this out right now. Am I watching everything that's going on with the politics? No, I'm not. I rather pay attention to what's happening on the planet or what's happening with people or, and pay attention to life. I want to see people grow. And that's what the goddesses are here for, to help people grow, emerge, and merge together, emerge better to be who they are.
But you know, it's like Einstein said, everything is energy,
Correct.
and including politics. And I don't like the term politics, but we're talking about an energy that has very little to do with politics and has everything to do with people.
Yes.
That's, you know, you don't have to pay attention to the politics of anything, but you also, the goddess is showing up for a reason.
Mm.
And, you know, the goddess is looking at the entire landscape, right? It's not just about what I'm doing, you know, in my living room later.
Right.
It's all about the collective energy, but each one of us and how we show up has such an important part. Um, and we're seeing it.
Yes.
It plays out in a lot of ways. I mean, I like to use movies because I just have movie references, right? You know, I'm fascinated by how many goddess movies. We don't call them goddess movies, do we? No,
No.
no. But there they are. They're projecting this divine feminine that's both masculine and, you know, this divine energy is both masculine and feminine. I mean, honestly, when you look at the remake of Wonder Woman and even the old version of Wonder
Right.
Woman and Xena, Princess Warrior Xena, you're you're looking at it,
Right.
right? You're
Right.
looking at it. And I think what I hear you saying is the goddess emergence is asking us to stand up and be both, but be boldly. See, I don't know any goddess figures that are not bold.
We're not. Okay, so I'm going to say something right now. We are very bold. There's a part of love. Let me explain love, which is nurturing. I'm talking the God's love. Nurturing. But yet we have a part of us that is very firm and we stand in our place. And so will we fight for people on this planet? Will we fight for the creator? Will we fight for change? Yes.
Oh, you fight for the planet
Yes. But
because
that's
Mother
the
Earth, right? Mother
right.
Earth's like a goddess, I think, too,
God,
right?
it's goddess Gaia.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, she is.
Oh, Gaia. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. One is five, one is six sisters. So, and it's like with Goddess Kuan Yin. They have this outlook about her, and they, yeah, thank you. I got, let's see, other shoulder right there. Well, anyway, you see her. Goddess Kuan Yin is a kick butt goddess. I will say that right out now. Isis, same thing with her magic and why she's here. You know, Mariah, goddess of the West, why she's here. Why do you think all the goddesses, you know, had to come right now? Because to hold the energy so the divine masculine can also do their job. So it's a combination of collective between all of us.
Yeah. And, you know, let's be clear. You know, look, we've talked about a lot today, and it really all is leading up to really the evolution of this show and where we're going, especially, you know, when we move into live, open up phone lines for people, they're going to get a sense of different things. But we're also talking about goddess energy and the full strength of power, and what that means. My phone rang at 4 o'clock this morning. That's when things started for me. I work with young people, all people in addiction and recovery, but I specifically work with certain groups. And my phone started to ring at 4 o'clock this morning. And I can't even express the range of emotion, but I will tell you in the end, I love watching young people. I forget sometimes I was young. And I love watching them because I watch them move to action. And I want people to know that when we talk about goddess energy, the goddess energy is about action.
Correct.
Right? But it's also about what you said, guidance. What's your personal message? What would you like to leave us with here today?
I want to leave you with something different than I thought I would. You brought up young people. I had a son I have a son, sorry. He's going to be 26. And he thought all this was just a bunch of garbage. He's like, yeah, right, Mom. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. You do your thing. I'm glad you like your stones. I'm glad you like this and that. He got addicted to some marijuana and some other stuff and drinking. And I would not give up my God's nurturing for nothing for him since he was a teenager. That young man now is asking me 26 because of the God's energy nurturing is now responsible. Credit card holding, bank person,
Yep.
can have a bank, has a job, lives on his own, all the things that I taught him he has used now. And now he believes in a lot of this. And he goes, wait a minute, Mom, you weren't wrong. There are angels, there are guides. Now what do I do? Now we take it one step at a time with the energy. And so that's what I want to leave people with somebody that thought was going to fail. And I would not give up on him.
Yeah. And I love that because that's a perfect segue to the next episode we do. Now, what do we do? Dr. Brie,
Right.
thank you. I want to tell everybody, please go to drbriegibbs.com. That's DRBRIE Gibbs.com. Check it out. You'll be able to go there, schedule time with Dr. Brie. You know, maybe you have somebody in your life you want some help and guidance for. Maybe it's you. 4:00, my phone started to ring this morning. And there are people that really need to understand there's a new energy and an energy despite what's going on in any other landscape outside of what's in our hearts. Thank you, Dr. Brie, for all of that. Dr. Brie Gibbs, we're not done. We're just warming up. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Goddess Emergence Show with Dr. Brie Gibbs. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 2 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to experience spiritual pathway that addresses your physical health, emotional frequency, mental clarity, and spiritual well-being, all in perfect harmony. This isn't just an ideal. It is the comprehensive nature of the Goddess Emergence Show with Dr. Brie, a spiritual leader, healer, and trance medium who, alongside the Goddess Bell and the Creator, offer messages from the masters never shared or released on the planet. Beyond the show, Dr. Brie offers individual and group sessions at drbriegibbs.com. That's drbriegibbs.com. We hope to see you next time.